Hi everyone. I hope that you guys are preparing well for your upcoming exam. Okay, so for EMath, so paper 1 is going to be on Monday, which is tomorrow. So now I'm doing the recording today, Sunday. So I just want to give you a heads up on what to prepare. Okay, today and probably the next few days for paper 2 as well. Okay, so that you are more prepared. Okay, so this is the document I have sent you all through the WhatsApp. The first thing, this first category, of course, will be over. I hope that the past 1 to 2 months time you actually had done all this. Basically, doing all the 10-year series questions. Look through the solution, do the correction. There's those questions that you can't do previously, and make sure that you understood and are able to do without looking at the solution again. Of course, those who wish to challenge more harder question, then of course you can try other school prelim papers that are given. Okay, so this is all these are actually what you should have done 1-2 months ago lah. Okay, so of course by doing those questions you should have tried also the construction and also the graph question. And if you have not done so, do have at least one consultation with me. Of course, if you have any questions in mind. But if you have not, no worries, you can focus on other subjects. Okay, so this is this category where currently what we are having now, which is 1 to 2 days before the exam. So what we're going to do today, or the whole of this today and tomorrow morning. So basically, just look through all the past year paper that you have done. Okay, really to try to redo and relook at them. You might not want to redo. You can just study and make sure that all the careless mistake you have made, okay, do not repeat them again. So remind yourself, keep it fresh in your mind that tomorrow when you enter the exam hall, when you start doing the question, don't repeat those mistakes. Okay? So of course the next thing that you need to do also, I want to emphasize the formula list. Make sure you can memorize all of them. Okay, you maybe today, this tonight or even tomorrow morning, you just try to test yourself whether you can memorize all of them. Okay, the formula list I've given you the soft copy as well. Okay, so all this, okay, formula list, which the first part indices is something that many people tend to forget. So remember, okay, look through that. And the micro, pico, nano, mini, okay, just have an impression. Okay, what are all this? Okay, and of course the algebra. Okay, how do we solve this algebra? This is the method itself, not so much of the formula. So other formulas that you need to remember, okay, completing the square, okay, elimination method, substitution method. So make sure for simultaneous equation you can do and secure the marks itself. Okay, just need to be careful. Okay, number pattern. Okay, the formula that you need to know over here. Okay, which is Tn equals to A plus n minus 1 d. A is first term and d is the difference. Okay, look through all the speed, rate, ratio, okay, direct proportion, inverse proportion, map and scale. I want to highlight when map and scale, when it comes to area, always remember you need to square the ratio. And this is one thing over here, okay, the conversion that people tend to make mistake. Okay, so 1 kilometer square is one with 6 zeros behind. Okay, meter square. So if you convert from 1 kilometer to cm square, there are a total of 10 zeros. Okay, so what you need to do is, okay, this one there's an error here. There are a total of 5 zeros. So just make sure that when you convert from length ratio to area ratio, you need to square. Okay, so to square this, you need to square this, okay, to get the answer in terms of the area ratio. Okay, trigo formulas mostly you can find at the first page of the exam paper. Okay, the Tuacaso you need to know. If the angle is here, opposite is here. Okay, so sine rule, cosine rule, this is one thing that people tend to always forget. Okay, so this is obtuse angle. So if I were to draw is something like this. If they ask for cosine of this angle, so what you need to do is just find the cosine of this angle. And how to find the cosine of this angle? This O, this A, and this H. So just find O and H. and therefore you put a negative sign. So cosine theta equals to negative A over H. Okay, so that's how we find cosine theta when you want to find obtuse angle. Okay, sine rule, cosine rule, I think by now you should know. Okay, sorry, because sine rule, cosine rule, all these formulas are given in the exam. Bearing, one thing to highlight will be you must have 3 digit. Okay, take note. This is a very common mistake people will make. So if it's a bearing, give 3 digit, 0 to 8. Okay, corresponding angle, alternate angle. So whenever you see two parallel lines, these 3 formula comes to your mind. Okay, alternate angle, corresponding angle, and sum of interior angle. Okay, all these are mentioned here. Okay, vertically opposite angle. Okay, the formula for total interior angle is this. Okay, so when you see the word regular, make sure that you know that all sides are the same. That means all angles are the same as well. This is what we mean by regular. Okay, so exactly the same. For exterior angle is always 360. So remember that another common mistake is people thought that the exterior angle is the whole of this part. No. So interior angle is here. Exterior angle is just this. This is interior, this is exterior. Okay, so do take note of that. Okay, so that will be for this part. Okay, so coordinate geometry, quite straightforward. Okay, distance. Okay, it's using Pythagoras theorem. So if you look at this, it's just a square, b square, and c square. So, but they put a and b square in this format to find the distance itself. Okay. Gradient is a vertical over horizontal. So remember, okay, to always label your coordinate x1, y1, x2, y2 so that you can put them in properly. Okay, there's quite a common mistake that people sub in the value wrongly or forget the sign. Okay, forget to put in the negative sign, therefore will be wrong. Okay, so take note. Okay, so another thing I want to highlight will be this, the vertical line. When you have a vertical line, okay, so you have to take note that this is actually equation of x equals to a. Just x equals to a. Okay, so you cannot, it's not normal. This 2 will be y equals to mx plus c, which is mentioned here. This is x equals to a, and this is horizontal line is y equals to a. Okay, so please just take note of that. This is another type of common mistake that people tend to have. Okay, so let me just continue to scroll down. Okay, curve sketching. This one I have mentioned many times. So you need the 4 things you need to learn. Find shape, the x-intercept, y-intercept, and last but not least the turning point. Okay, so the happy face or frown face, x-intercept you sub y equals to 0, y-intercept you sub x equals to 0, and the turning point. Okay, if let's say you have this completing the square format, okay, just refer to this to find your turning point. So this must be equal to 0. So x is minus 2, and this will be y equals to minus 9. Okay, so that will be your turning point. So it will be minus 2, minus 9. Okay, so once you got this information, then you start to sketch the graph. Right? Okay, so this is for completing the square format. So the example here also shows when you have factorized format, so how do you do it? So I'll leave it to you to read it. Okay, so statistics, dot diagram. Dot diagram looks like this. This is the dot diagram. Some of you forgot about it. Okay, the second one is the stem and leaf diagram. So make sure you know what is the difference. Stem and leaf diagram, make sure that you organize in this format. Okay, ascending order from small to big. Okay, so this formula also shows that how you find the mean or find the average. So basically all this you need to multiply them together to find the total value, so which is over here. So this is total number, sorry, total value will be right here. Then you divide by the total number of numbers, then that will give you the mean. Okay, and the next one, of course, if let's say we are given a range, instead of fixed number, we need to find the middle value. So 20 to 29, the middle value is 24.5. 30 to 39, 34.5, so on and so forth. Find the middle value. Then you do the same thing. You multiply these two. Multiply, multiply, and multiply. That give you the total value. Then divide by the total number of numbers. That will give you the mean. Okay? Okay, and median is the middle position, middle number. So I want to highlight that odd number, there's one middle number, even number, there's two middle numbers. So like example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, middle number is just 1. If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the middle number will be 3 and 4. So there are two middle number. Okay. So this is the steps on how do we find the middle number. So you just look through that. I'll not go through in detail. Okay, the last one, mode or model. So both means the same thing. So appear the most time, which is the highest frequency. So whichever that has the highest frequency, that will be your mode. So this is your mode, this is your mode. Okay. Okay, cumulative frequency graph. So first thing is always remember check what's the total frequency first. So because this is your total frequency, how do you find the upper quartile, median, and the lower quartile is based on this value. So you can see that the upper quartile is 75% of 80. The median is 50% of 80. The lower quartile is 25% of 80. Okay. So this is how we find that. How do we find interquartile range? By now it should be quite straightforward. You should know. We are looking at the value below. So upper quartile minus lower quartile will give you the interquartile range. Okay. Standard deviation. Okay, so the formula that is mentioned over here, for your working wise, if it's a 2-mark question, 2 marks question, you make sure you need to show this working. Need to show. Okay. But if it's just 1 mark question, right, you just give the answer straight away. If it's 1 mark, you can give answer straight away. Give answer straight. Okay, so you just just look at the marks, number of marks allocated. Okay, so this is example of standard deviation. Okay, so this is we don't usually use this table. We key in the calculator. Okay, so you can do a very quick search on the online. How do we key in the formula, or how do we use calculator to calculate the standard deviation? If you're not too sure, or if not, you can check in with me. Okay, box and whiskers, you just read through. I'm not going to run through that. Okay, plotting of graph. Okay, some of the things that you need to take note. Use pencil. Okay, so make sure a small cross. Make sure you follow the units. Okay, make sure the curve pass through all points, and make sure you label the axis and also label the curve. Okay, so this is how it looks like. When they want to ask you to draw a tangent, okay, make sure the angle is about the same and draw a line. And after that, usually they will ask to find the gradient. So you just need to find 2 points, write down the x and y, write down the x and y here. Then after that, then you can find the gradient itself. Okay. So distance time, speed time graph, I want to highlight the only 2 things that you are looking at. We use the gradient to solve. Either the gradient or the area under the graph. Okay, under the graph. So these are the 2 main things that you need to use to solve. So for this type of question, right, always I mention, okay, write down all the coordinates that you can find. 40, 50, this is 75, 50, and write down all the coordinates. Okay, once you've written down all the coordinates, then you can find using the gradient, okay, to solve the unknown. Let's say they want to find an unknown here.